Hey all brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to Attack on Factorio, where things are different. Not only am I now playing in 1080, which is glorious, hopefully things aren't going to look too scaled down when... because I've still got my interface set to being a little bit smaller. So hopefully things are going to be alright for everybody to watch once everything's scaled down. But if you haven't caught any of the live streams over on my Twitch channel, you aren't going to have seen all of this. Look at how much has changed. Central has been completely rebuilt. The rails have been completely redesigned. Everything within Tier 1 has been rebuilt and redone. The whole thing took about... I want to say it was at least 12 hours. It was about 4.5 hour live streams, I think. So that would be about 13.5 hours in total. But there's still little bits that need doing. But all of the smelting districts have now got the same layout, with the exception of things like Nielsen B, because that's outside of the Tier 1 wall. That has not been done. But the rails are now essentially formatted to a exact standard, kind of. They don't quite mesh perfectly, but it's good enough for what it is. Refueling has been redesigned to be more efficient, and I think it's a fantastic new layout for the place. The walls and the gates have all been redone. The spacing on the rails as well, I've tried to get it so that each section like this rail crossing, and some of these straight sections, the signals, the spacing between the signals is enough to fit a whole train. So we shouldn't have any serious kind of junction locks. I've tried to make sure that all of the right signals are in the right place. And I've just rearranged various things, like the uranium is now being sent off to Central North as opposed to Trostra, based on the everything being rearranged here. And we've got a lot of roads in. We got some landfill production going on over here, as well as... I had to tear up the assemblers for it, but I've been using a thing here. This is from a mod. This is the first mod that I've installed on this map. This is waterfill. It does the exact same thing as landfill, but instead of filling water in, you can create ponds and little patches of water with it. Although I've learned the hard way a couple of times. Don't put it down on the ground when you're standing above it. Don't put it down underneath your feet. It instantly kills you. I've had that happen a couple of times. And yeah, it's mildly embarrassing. But yes, we've been burning through a lot of this stuff. The copper up at Erlenmeyer has been completely burned away, or mined up. We've still got a few bits in the chests over here, so that's something that does need to get sorted. And some of these rails aren't lining up properly anymore. A lot of stuff has had to be kind of rejigged. I took the big four-way junction out from Malachite Junction to Fracture and down to Hollow Point and stuff. This is horrible. Don't look at that. I couldn't get this to line up properly, so I had to shamble this thing together. It works. It's just not pretty. So just ignore it. It will get fixed at some point in the future. What's going on with you? You're not connected to the main power network, are you? That's a bit of a problem. Yes, and various... I redesigned Fracture to make things a little bit more streamlined, a little simpler to work with. So we've got a station over here for dealing with any solid products that come in or out of the district. So, batteries, coal, plastic, iron, copper, all that sort of stuff. Engine production is not happening here at the moment. It's not going to be happening for the electric engines. I've also scaled up the production on things and just kind of tidied things up in general. And then down here to the south, we've got a fluid station. So we've got oil imports here. This is for the sulfuric acid, lubricant, and then potentially light and heavy oil, because my next project, what I plan on doing today, is the long-awaited Castle Black, right up on the very north of the Tier 3 wall. I plan to set up a bit of a fortress, and this fortress is going to be producing all of the heavy weapons stuff. So I'm going to be taking these rails from Stone 1, we're going to be heading further north, we're going to be tearing through all of these trees until we get up to around about this coal outpost. And then I'm going to seriously fortify this north section of wall. We're going to turn it into a real bastion against the bugs. And I'm going to set up a load of production for the various different heavy weapons stuff. So anything that Hollowpoint is not producing, with the exception of the shotgun rounds, because I still need to fix that. But never mind, don't worry about it. We seem to be struggling for iron. Is there a reason for that? I mean, I do need to put more beacons in here, but we are loaded up on. Right, I tell you what, I'm gonna quickly run over to Quantum. Oh, okay, thanks, bots. Let's go and fill in some more stuff, because I haven't done enough apparently. Yeah, the live streams went incredibly well. I'm super happy with how things turned out. Oh yes, and we've also tapped into this ginormous copper vein up here. I'm getting it all belted over into the scrap heap, just because that's kind of the best place for it, to be honest. We're already getting some machines that are no longer running, which is that's good stuff. One other mod that would be helpful for this would be the auto deconstruct mod, but I'm not too fussed about that. As long as things continue to operate, I'm quite content to leave all of this to just do its thing. I'll come and pick things up once I notice a serious drop in the amount of copper that's coming through, or once I notice that not much is coming along on the belts or something. But for the time being, it's doing the job. There's a tremendous amount of copper. This balancer that I cobbled together is not exactly the best. I don't know. I mean, this side is fairly unbalanced, but I think once it gets around to this bit, it's not too bad. It does kind of fill itself out. And now that I'm feeding another belt in, it should be fine. But this was 2 6-4s, and then into an 8-4 in order to actually get stuff over this way. Oh, and some more miners have run out over this way. Yeah! Oh, I like it when stuff like this happens. I get to go and tidy things up a bit, and that's really nice. It's the simple things in life, isn't it? But I think that's a fairly succinct rundown of everything that's happened. Most of what got done was just the general rebuilding of everything. But things have been ticking over here at Quantum as well, quite nicely. We're getting a little bit more in the way of productivity modules, which is just really rather good. So I'm going to head round to Vickersville. We're going to go and dump all of this stuff in. Don't think I have the supplies for making any more beacons, however. Oh dear, I can make one. Thank you, bots, for fixing the things that I was damaging. Much appreciated. But these rails do certainly seem like they're functioning a lot better. I've got an improved rail crossing blueprint as well. The way I've designed it now is that if I've got a few extra bits of gate here, so if I'm standing in the middle just kind of looking at things, these gates will remain closed as opposed to my having to rush off to the other side, which does make things a little bit better. And that should help things a little bit, I'm hoping. It's not going to be a huge amount of difference. Let's see if I can find some copper. Make myself some more beacons. I don't suppose I've left any copper lying around in any of these chests. I've got chests everywhere, by the way. This is just a complete mess of various different things that have been left all over the place. It's horrendous. It's a mess. Don't look at it. I beg of you. Oh, I've got lamps in here. Where the fuck? Why were they there? Malachite Junction. Right, I'm now short on steel, but that's no big problem, I think. I'm going to head up to the north. I'm going to grab... Oh, I've got to check for rails. Let me see if I can find those. I'm really unprepared for this today. Oh shit, I'm also standing by a district that needs beacons, so don't be there when things go... You know, bots try to get active with stuff. It's going to be a bad decision. Don't want beacons going in there just yet. I mean, I will, eventually, but just not now. Some rails, more lasers, walls and gates, assembling machines, grab all these inserters and power supply stuff, more belts, yeah, that should do. Yeah, I'm going to just dump some of this into the car. Right, I think that should do it. Let's just try and back out of here, nice and carefully, nice and easy like. Whoosh. Oh god, sorry mate. Right, to the north we go. Now part of me is half tempted to continue the kind of the structure for the walls that I've been, or the rails that I've been doing. For the time being, I'm just going to tear up some of this stuff, just so that I can get myself... Alright, okay, yeah, you go ahead and do that. It doesn't really matter all that much, I'm going to be tearing it all up eventually anyway. Ho-hum! We'll deal with it. Right, I suppose we could get back to actually researching the atomic bomb, because we're going to need that. Yes, the rocket silo research has finished, so we can go about making that sometime in the near future, which is just going to be grand. Let's hop out here, just check on some of these miners. We do need to drag these lines all the way up this way. Right. Now, I have an idea of what I want to be doing up here. I want to set up a rail line. Oh shit, I'm already out of rails. Well, fuck. I came prepared for this, didn't I? I'm already having to go back down to Beltway. Alright, I'm on my way. Anyway, yeah, my plan is I want to set up a horizontal station, like an east-west style station. There'll be a platform there that is going to accommodate the artillery train. As I mentioned, I want to have a large artillery train with loads of cannons on it that's going to just kind of wander its way around the Tier 3 wall to just act as a kind of mobile bombardment platform. I think that's going to be great fun. It does mean that we're going to end up with like loads of biters and stuff that are going to be like getting obliterated. My kind of, I think like my end goal for the Citadel was going to be oh yes, please do put all those in. Let's see how much this speeds things up. Yeah, my kind of planned finale for the series, if you wanna put it that way. I mean, I'm kind of thinking ahead a little bit. I'll take the bots off for now, just while the rest of these things craft. But I have been thinking towards how the series will end, because it is going to inevitably, and it has been going on for a very long time already. I'm nowhere near ready to end it just yet, but just kind of thinking on things as I go about, crashing into walls, obviously. But just trying to think of what I might want to do to send off the map, send off the Citadel, send off the series. And my thoughts were to just let the bugs kind of go wild with their evolution and their growth, and just kind of hold them at bay at the walls, and then eventually just blow up all of the power reactors, like completely destroy the nuclear reactors. I don't know what I'd do with regards to the solar grid, because that's now really expanding along the rails, and I mean, I suppose if I were to be setting it up on a separate network, then I can always just disconnect the network from the main power grid, so that would be a power switch job, which was the plan anyway. But my idea for a finale would be to, like, maybe just kill the power, let the bugs go wild, and stand in central and see how long it takes for them to reach me or something. Something like ridiculous and just kind of stupid. Like this. Like trying to force your way through a forest of trees while you're in a car. Ah, god damn it, we're through. But I think that having the an artillery train would kind of hamper that sort of thing, because we'd have a mobile platform that would be actively destroying the bugs, as opposed to letting them grow. Right, I want trees and rocks only. We are going to be grabbing an awful lot from this slot. I'm also going to use this rail line going around the outside just to be kind of like a tour train. My ultimate, another plan that I want to have for the series is to just eventually just set up a train that's going to take me around the map. Because I think that could be quite fun. Let me dump some stuff into here. Oh, I've still got those logistics bots. Those are meant to go to the scrap heap. No, fracture. That's where they were meant to go. Right, there we go. Use the wood to make wooden chests to blow up the wood. Goodbye. Oh, yeah, I forgot the bots would attract the attention of the bugs, wouldn't they? Oh, that was dumb. That wasn't dumb, I mean, it's just literally just one biter spawner, they're not going to do much. Right, well, we cleared ourselves some space. I needed to destroy the rest of these trees. The rest of this wood can just go in there and go away. Lovely. Right, how do I want to set this up? Because I'm wondering whether or not it would have been wise to actually kind of mark off the distance that I wanted to deal with things as far as the rails go. It might be a wise decision, because I'm probably going to put just like a T-junction right slap bang in the middle of this to connect everything. So if I want to make sure that it's going to be in line with the rest of my rail network, before having to worry about like rebuilding everything, because a lot of what took time during the live streams was just tearing everything up so that I could relay it. Like, well, I tore up pretty much every single district. The only thing that didn't move from the initial build was the rails that made up the station in Central. I built everything off of that. So I think if let's go for... I'm not going to tear up the rails themselves, but let's tear up all of the solar panels and the accumulators. We'll tear up... Actually, I won't tear up all of the concrete and stuff, but I'm just going to get all of this stuff out of the way so that I don't have to worry about it. I should get rid of the lamps as well. What I'm going to do, because I've got... These are the new blueprints, and I've got just a straight rail piece that doesn't involve any... anything outside of the anything including like all the solar panels and stuff. So I'm gonna just get rid of Can I get it to get rid of the blueprints? Entity Ghost. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What I can do, I can do things a little bit easier, instead of faffing around with this nonsense. Let's just relay that. Just get a new blueprint, grab that, and we'll just go with... yeah, we'll just do that, I suppose. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this, and that will be where we start things from. So I'm just going to lay this up, like so. It's going to take a while to get up there, but what I could do would be to triple this. Now this might not work, because obviously T-junctions are going to be an issue. So I think from the way that this is already scaling, it's going to mean that the scrap heap is going to have to move. Things are just generally going to change with the layout of everything. But we'll say from here, signals will start going like that. And then I think we can tear up the rest of this again. So that we've now got the markers that we need to get everything in place. And hopefully, if things do have to move in the future, they won't have to move too far. But, you know, this isn't the best strategy for dealing with it, to be honest. I do have signals in my car, so let's go and start setting this up. I don't think I'm going to get the entirety of this new district set up today. I've already been here for half an hour just talking about things and faffing around and getting things in the wrong place and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, don't expect a fully operational weaponized district by the time this video ends. It's not going to happen. And now we can use this to finish in the rest of the rail line, which is just grand. If I can get just the station and the various platforms in place, then that'll probably be good enough for me today. But yeah, I'm not expecting all of the infrastructure for Castle Black to be done within this episode. I'm expecting that we'll probably have it done by the time the next episode ends. You know, might give me an opportunity to, because I've been on the, coming off, 3 streams, a good solid 12 hours over the last week of rebuilding all of this stuff. So my brain's been a little fried with regards to playing Factorio. This is problematic. Should have brought Tankamus with me. Oh, I miss Tankamus. Beautiful, beautiful creature. We're practically where I want to be anyway, so that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do, we're going to have one more section of the of this. We can go like that, and then actually, do I want it like that? I'll take that one off. We'll see how the T-junction looks on the end of it. It does mean things might need to shift. Well, hopefully things won't need to shift too much. No, actually, that's fine. Let's drop that down. Actually, that one rail there I placed perfectly. It's just the wrong side of the rail. Right, tear all that up. And I'm going to just adjust this to get rid of tile ghosts, because I don't need those. Hello bugs, how are we doing? And get rid of the solar panels, the accumulators. Oh yeah, lamps and walls, we don't need those. And then the substations that are here, I'll just strategically pick those up myself. These bits aren't needed right now. I will sort out power distribution. Later. I'm trying to remember what words I need. Just trying to remember the word later is a stretch. So this is going to be the... Well, essentially this is where the kind of the wall rail will begin. Now I need to figure out where things are going to go from here. One thing I've got to consider is which orientation do I want to have the artillery train. I'm thinking I might want it to go from, you know, go anti-clockwise around everything. But at the same time, like, part of my head thinks clockwise. So I don't know. I'm also not sure on how long I'm going to make the damn thing. What does that fall under anyway? Is that a combat thing, or is it... I mean, it seems like it should be logistics. I mean, I haven't got the artillery stuff researched yet, so... it takes 2,000. It's a lot of science packs. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. I am going to have a standard station. It's just going to come out here like this. The standard stations that we've been building. We're going to have one on either side. They're going to be for various different products. And then... what I'm going to do beyond this little, like these two platforms here, we're going to have one big platform on the far side that's going to house the artillery train. And it's going to be a monster. I'm thinking at least... I'll try and push for a dozen cannons. We'll see how we go, but I'll try and push for a dozen. We probably aren't going to need this second platform here. But never mind, we're going to have it. Oh, no, we're not, because I've not got any rails left. Do I need to head down to fucking... what's it again? Oh, what's it again? Beltway. Remember the names. Remember the names of the things that you've built. Ooh, let's drop the last of these beacons in here. Have I got one more? I have not got one more, god damn it. What do I need? I need steel. Go and grab some steel. Have I got any steel? No. Alright. Well, we need to head down this way anyway, so we can always stop in at Trostra. There we go, there's another 400 rails, it should be enough. And I've got one last beacon. Good. If Vickersville is missing anything, it's probably productivity modules, but we should be fine. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we are missing 14 productivity Mark III modules. Don't quite have enough yet. We're also really struggling on getting iron. I mean, the trains do have to head all the way down here, and the supply is starting to thin a little. These chests are not remaining full. Maybe I need to look into bringing in another iron supply. I mean, the scrap heap has an awful lot of iron here. I could maybe start mining that with the purposes of sending it off to be smelted elsewhere. As opposed to having on-site smelting, I can just bring things in via the trains. That could be an option. Yes, not the best option for... well, I mean, it might be the best option for now. Especially seeing as we are going to need iron for pretty much everything else that we're going to be making. You know, factory needs a lot of it. Not quite as much as it needs copper, but it needs a lot of iron. Iron goes into almost everything that gets produced, be it in the form of iron or steel, or in the form of some other intermediate product. So maybe that will probably be a project for the next episode, along with trying to finish up what we've got going on with the new Castle Black outpost district thingamabub. Slowly getting through these trees, though. Eventually that'll be a completely clear path that I won't have to worry about. But I'm going to put in the basic framework for the rest of this train station, just to get it in place, and then we'll copy it over onto the other side. I also need to grab myself some train stops, don't I? That'd be helpful. Okay, I think I've got the basic foundation for Castle Black. This also needs to be a chain signal. But otherwise, that's looking really rather good. Okay, yeah, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Obviously, we've got this new district that needs to be built. I'm going to be building a solid straight rail line that's going to be going over the top of this, that is going to be home to the new and upcoming artillery train. It took me a second to figure out what I was trying to say. And then we're going to be building... I think I might build all of the infrastructure for the actual district beneath down here, so we can have everything can just kind of come up past all of this. I mean, there's going to be like solar panel infrastructure and stuff going along this way, but we'll try and figure out a way to make things work. We are starting to do something with our most northern border, which I think is rather fun. Like I said, you know, there's still loads of work that needs to be done with regards to the Tier 1 districts. Some of them I do just need to put nameplates back in. Some of them need nameplates to begin with. They've needed nameplates since I put them down. But there are a lot of things that need to be sorted out. There's a lot of miners here that now need to be tidied up, which is no big problem. They're just kind of burning through the sulfuric acid reserves that we've currently got sitting over here. And yeah, things are coming along nicely, but we do need to sort out a new iron supply for Vickersville and for Nielsenby, because they are both going to be struggling now, which is not going to be great. Plus, I need to reconnect all of this stuff back up to the main power network, because, yeah, I managed to break some connections and just didn't notice or didn't think to sort them out again. I'm amazed that the walls haven't been breached, to be honest. But things are really coming together, and I'm loving the way that this map is developing. So I'm going to wrap this video up here for now, and just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the playlist on the channel for more Let's Plays on metal covers, and give this video a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, subscribe on YouTube, chuck me a follow over on Twitch, or maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and I will catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield, signing off. A 20-minute kiss, that was a fucking long one. It took your father longer to fall out the window. Wow!